Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome or welcome back, and in this episode we're going to be adding pickups. So we're also going to be setting the values, and then we're going to add some effects so like when you go within a certain radius of the pickup, it's going to be pulled towards the player and collected like a magnet. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so for each pickup what we need to do is we need to create two objects. We need a sprite for the texture, and then we need a 3D object which we're going to use for the actual billboard, just like we've done for everything else. So first let's insert those objects. We'll insert a 3D object. We can drag this here and we'll just call this, so we can call this, so it depends how you want to name it. we'll call this coin pickup, because that way we can then have the same naming convention, so we can insert a new object, sprite. For now we'll just use a placeholder. I'll just drag out a yellow circle or something, and then we could name this to coin texture. So now we've got the two different objects. What we can do is we can, just like everything else in the last episodes, we can disable all the face that's at the bottom, and then we want to actually set the bottom face to be the coin texture, just like this. Okay, so next let's select the actual pickup object, and we're going to be adding an instance variable, and this is going to be for the magnet effect we're going to be adding soon. So we want to call this distance to player, something like that, and we can just keep this on 0 for now. Now on top of this, and a cool thing we can add is, so if we head over to behaviors, and we add a sign behavior, and then we can use this to make the pickup actually like move up and down slightly. So all we can do is we can keep it the same. If we head over to the left, we just want to make it so that it's on Z elevation, and then we want to, the period can be fine on 4, but we want the magnitude to be quite low. And if we preview this, you can now see we just have a slight animation where it just moves up and down like this. As you can see, if I've just dragged this into the page, and we can now see a coin moving up and down. Okay, great, so now we've done this, let's just clone these a few times to get some different pickups. So we can just right click, clone, same for the texture, right click, clone. And then for this one, so I'll make this some sort of premium pickup for now, and I'll use this to also show you a different way to make the pickup. So this is a 2D kind of style. However, if you wanted to make the pickup more like a 3D object, you could do that, where if we select this here, and what we can do is if we scroll down to the object, if you see here where it says shape, we can change this to a prism or a pyramid, and then we can enable all the different faces. And then all we have to do is if we select this, we could then change the different textures. So alright, so this is just a placeholder for now, but just have something like this. And as we can see, we have our pickup here. Now this is obviously now signing and zooming in and out like the other one. However, we want a different kind of effect for this, and also it's a little too large, so what we can do is we'll go back, we can play with the height. So we could set this height to something like 6 maybe. We can scale it down. However, what we can also do is we can have another behavior, and we can add the rotate behavior. And now when we preview, it now rotates. Set the speed to something like, I don't know, 80. And then one more thing real quick. So if you're doing the 3D objects, it's potential that you wouldn't need the actual textures. You could just, like we have done, color in the faces. Alternatively, that's up to you. You could also use images. It just depends on the style you want to go for. Okay, so decide which kind of pickups you're going for, or maybe you want a mix of the two, which I'm going to keep. And then at this point, just duplicate this process to make all the pickups you like. So we're going to need a health pickup, things like that. In this series right now, I'll be just adding a health pickup, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so at this point you should have your pickups just like this, whatever you've created. So for now I've just got a coin, a premium coin, and then I've got the health pickup. Alright guys, so once you're happy with your pickups, how they look and things like that, head over to your event sheet, and we can now start getting this working. We're going to be adding some global variables first. So I'm going to call this coins. So we'll have coins, we can duplicate this. I'll call this one premium. And then we don't need one for the health right now, because in the previous videos, we actually set up the health inside of the character. Okay, so once you've got your variables set up, let's add a group and we'll call this pickups. One thing I'll just mention is if you do have the paid version of Construct, I'd recommend using a loop and creating a family for just called pickups, and then you can just iterate through each one of those pickups, and it just makes it a lot more cleaner. Alright, so anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the add an event, and we're going to say every tick. We'll just add another every tick for now. Add an action. We'll start off with the coin pickup. We'll say coin pickup, and we want to set the position. Alright, so inside of here we want to type coin pickup dot x minus cos brackets. So because this is just like calculating like a degree, it's just a different case of the number. And then we want to set the angle, so we want to put angle brackets again, And then we want to compare this to the actual player's angle. So we want to say player billboard dot x, comma, player billboard dot y. So we're getting the position of the actual player. And then we want to do the same thing of the actual pickup as well. So we're comparing them. So again, we'll go coin pickup dot x and then coin pickup dot y. Close these brackets off, and then we can just times this by like 5, something like that. We can copy this, paste it in the y, and then all we need to do is we just need to change this to y, and we'll change this to sine, like this. And so as you can see, we've already got a nice little effect where the coins are getting pulled towards the player. So if you want to use the range, then we're going to add that now. However, if you just want every pickup to just get pulled towards the player, you could just keep that as is, and every pickup will just get pulled in. But what we're going to do is, so we're going to add another condition. We're going to right click, add. We're going to add a blank sub event. We're going to insert a system, and we're going to compare two values. Now what we want to do is we want to compare the coin underscore pickup dot distance to player. So this is a variable we added before. And then we want to check if this is less or equal to. And then we're going to set this to the variable of range, which we added in the previous video for the player. So we say player billboard dot range. So if the distance is less than the actual current set range, that's when we'll then trigger this function. So just drag this down here. And then finally, we just need to actually now set what the distance is. So we're going to add an action. Once again, coin pickup, set value of the variable, distance to player, and then it'll be easy. So if you just pause the video right now and you can just paste this in right here. So we're square rooting and we're just getting, it's easy just to, compare this, like, it works, and like, we're setting the position, and this is basically constantly updating the position, is the easiest way of putting it. One thing we need to add actually is we need to add a loop. And then one more final thing we need to add is we need to actually add a loop, so this is going to iterate through all the different coins. So we need to right click, add another condition, system, for each, and we're going to say coin pickup. And again, if you have the paid version, or if you plan on getting one in the future, you would just replace this to the actual coin family, and then these here, you would just change these to the actual family. So so this event we've got here, that would work then for every single pickup, whereas what we'll have to do is, you just have to, duplicate this process. Let's test this for now. As you can see, the coins are no longer pulling towards us, and if we walk within range, they now get pulled in. Okay, great. We can just now Control-C, Control-V this event 3 times, or again, use the families if you've got the paid version. And then just real quick, change these to different pickups you've got for each of these. Alright guys, so I've just quickly done that. I've just split up with some comment stuff to keep it nice and organised. So let's test this anyways. So head over to your event sheet, make sure you've got your 3 pickups in your page. And if we preview, so now the pickups start coming towards us, we walk towards them, and they get pulled in. Like this. Okay great, so now let's actually update the values and make it delete the pickups. So what we can do is we can also, if we right click, and you can also add subgroups. And this could be great if you just want, if you have a lot of events for each different thing. So here, so we could have coins, and we could duplicate this. Alright guys, so to get this working, all we need to do is, it's really simple, add a new event. We can say player, billboard, on collision, with another object. So if this one's the coin, so we'll say coin pickup, and then add an action, and we say coin pickup, and we say coin pickup, and we just do this just right. On top of this, another thing we could add is, so we could also add so we can say coin pickup on created, and then so you could either add a timer or you could just do system, wait 10 seconds, and then again you can destroy it. So this would add like a nice delay, so if you want them to get destroyed every 10 seconds or so, and then just duplicate that process into your other pickups. Alright guys, so once again, if we just test this real quick. Now when we collect these, they get pulled towards the player and they get destroyed. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is just set the actual values. So we can go into the on collision events, and what we can do is, so we can say system, we can set value, and so if this one's coins, what we can do is we can set this to coins plus 1. So then every time it'll update the, just to add 1, it won't just keep resetting it. For the premium, we can do the same thing, system, set value, but instead of this we say premium, so we do premium plus 1. Alright guys, so lastly for the health pickup, what we're going to do is, for now we're just going to keep it simple. We'll improve this in the future, but for now we'll just say player billboard. We'll add value. We'll add to the health, and for now let's just add something like 25, just so we can see this working. Let's copy this from here, where we created before with the damaged player. So we'll set the width to the actual height, so it's just going to keep updating. And then on top of this, all we need to do again is we need to say health pickup, and we just destroy it. Alright, great, so let's test this guys. All our pickups should now be working. We've got the effects going, the values got updated and things like that, so let's test. So I'm going to debug the project so we can see everything. As we can see, we've got our variables. If I hit the coin, it adds a coin. I can take damage. If I kill the thing, it updates it. And then we'll wait for this one here just so we can just see. And like that, so after 10 seconds, that gets destroyed. So that's it for this one, guys. All the pickups work. And you can see how you can very quickly add some nice effects. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll see you in the next one.